Today I'm going to be ranking how Honkai Starrail Penacony characters would act on dates. Now, I've taken some liberties and also added a few characters that exist within the story at this point but aren't released or known to be released anytime soon. The first character is Acheron. Now, we don't really know that much about her, and if I'm being honest, killing us on the very first encounter and then not explaining anything about herself at all when we meet again, if that's anything to go by, it seems like her dates would be very dry and also awkward, so definitely a D tier. Now, next up is Adventurine. With how this man acts throughout the chapter, and also how he reveals Robin's dead body at the end, this man would absolutely love to go on a date, but also would probably only do so to use this relationship as some sort of bargaining chip in the future to, better himself or better his status. So I think that'll go in a B tier. Next up is Black Swan. Now, this girlie is the mommy type. Like, if you were simping for Kafka, of course you're going to be simping for Black Swan too. With her being able to manipulate your dreams and your emotions within those dreams, it's quite easy to see how a date with her might end up, if you get what I mean. But it's also important to remember that at the end of the day, she's also the type to just throw you around as a bargaining chip, as we saw with the deal with Adventurine. So it's probably best to not get too attached to her. Therefore, I'm putting her in a low B tier, B for Black Swan. Now, next up is Clocky. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Even with his clockwork powers, I wouldn't be able to stand his Mickey Mouse sounding voice for more than a few moments. Besides, when only you can see him, you are just gonna look delusional if you're talking to your imaginary friend. Not to mention that if you actually want to date a clock in the first place, you are delusional, which is why he's going in D for delusional. Now, next up is Firefly. I mean, she would just be an S tier date. Like, have you seen her in the Trailblazer? I don't even need to explain myself, she's just going straight up there. I mean, all the times that people assumed that they were on a date, the cute pictures together, they're just the sweetest little couple, and you can't tell me otherwise. I surely hope nothing bad ever happens to her. Next up is Gallagher. Now, we haven't seen much of him within the game, but I feel like him being a bartender and having his little stubble and, mixing drinks, I feel like he would make a very romantic little bar date for the two of you. I definitely feel like he knows what he's doing, so therefore, like, he would go in a high B. Since we don't really know much about him yet, I don't really want to put him in an A, but definitely a high B for now. Well, next up is Misha. This little guy is probably very sweet, but he also seems like the type that would be too shy to say or do anything on a date, and you would have to be the one actually putting effort in. Now, that being said, I feel like he would be the sweetest little guy, so therefore I am going to be putting him in a low A, because he doesn't have anything that actually lowers his value in that regard. And next up is Robin. And now, we didn't really get to know her much before the events of this update. But if March 7th's reaction is anything to go by, this girlie is a superstar who just knows how to treat you right. Like, chef's kiss, romantic candlelight dinners while she's singing love songs to you. Definitely a high A tier. Next up is Sam. And I'm just gonna say, he's a robot. Do not try to seduce the robot. Straight to D tier. Now, next up is Sparkle, an absolute master of deception. She's the kind of girl that Black Bear meant when he said, "Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake," because she will make your wildest dreams come true, and she will turn into anything and anyone that you could ever want. But at the end of the day, I doubt that it would be for anything other than her own benefit. So, a high B tier. And last but not least, Sunday. Now, we honestly don't know that much about Sunday, but if him having the position he does is anything to go by, it's safe to say that he can afford to make your wildest dreams come true. So, even if he right now is probably lacking in the personality department, I would say that he is a high A tier. And that's my tier list. Do you agree? And if you don't, then what would you do differently? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one, and happy Valentine's Day. See ya.